All right, let's talk about Lange versus California and how that case applies to driveways.
Okay.
So we have an officer from Texas. He tries to stop a vehicle. They don't flee, which would be a felony in Texas. They don't flee. They simply are very close to the house. They just pull into their driveway, leisurely, whatever. And the officer basically does the traffic stop at his door on the driveway, ends up arresting him for warrants and so forth. The guy does play some games about, I don't have to give you my ID because I'm on my property, but yeah, he was just outside.
Right.
So the command seems to think that this violates Lange versus California. What is Lange, and how's this? Then we can see how this is going to apply to here.
Okay. This one started with the California Highway Patrol. And whenever I talk about this case in our classes, and this ages me a little bit, I get that. I always ask the class, who is the most famous California Highway Patrol cop out there? Poncherello. We'll see. And again, we're close in age already, right?
Yeah.
Some of the newer cops, the younger cops, and the what?
Yeah.
But you're 100% right. Poncherello, right?
Yep.
So this was the case involved California Highway Patrol, the Chippies, right? And Arthur Lange's rolling down the road here, playing music, loud. I think maybe honking the horn a little bit, if I remember correctly.
He's calling attention to himself.
Just kind of, and so the officer stops him for this noise violation here. And like you said in the question here, he doesn't flee. He just kind of keeps rolling in there in a residential neighborhood. Keeps going a little bit here, pulls up into the driveway. As he's pulling up into the driveway, garage door opens. Garage doors rolling up. The California Highway Patrol parks in the street here, and
so he tries to close the door on the
garage door's coming back down, and the officer walks up, gives the old little foot thing, breaks the beam there, and then makes contact with Lange. At that point in time, he starts seeing the evidence of bloodshot eyes, odor of alcohol.
So he was drunk, which makes sense why he's bumping his music,
right? And
honking his horn.
Ultimately he gets arrested for the DUI and the loud music thing here. And the courts started looking at this and were like, well, hot pursuit, right? Chase people here. And the Supreme Court ended up looking at this and like, well, hang on a second here. This is misdemeanor to start. What you knew at the time was loud music going on here, right? Are we really cool with one? Is that the home, the garage door? Yeah. Are we really cool with cops chasing people into their homes for loud music? And they wanted, ultimately, at the end of this here, give us some urgency, some exigency of why you need to do this.
I think that Lange is a good case about just the idea that when you're dealing with the home and you're making a warrantless entry without consent, then the entry is always based on some form of urgency. I also believe that with felonies. Right now, you would get qualified immunity in a lot of places if you chase somebody in there for a felony. But can bouncing a check be a felony?
Yeah, it can.
So are we going to chase people into their homes for a bounce check?
I think we've talked about this, but I think we're on borrowed time on
that. We're on borrowed time on the felonies. Even Santana said that there was exigency there because of the destruction of evidence. But some people, many courts have said, well, Santana stands for the proposition that fleeing felons into the home means hot pursuit, automatically hot pursuit. So I think we're on borrowed time. I think there's a misreading of the case or the intent. Every single Supreme Court case dealing with the warrantless entry into a home has always been on some form of exigency. Community caretaking, Lange.
And I think this is one of those things is, the Arizona versus Gant case, we always say, because the law says I can, and I think where we are now, 2025 with cops and the training that, us at Blue to Gold were giving and the training that we're seeing, cops are getting these days, I really hope now there's an analysis in here. Is like, what is the severity of my crime to make entry into this person's home right now? And I'd like to think that, we're talking about a bounce check.
Correct.
This ain't the time to go kick
it over. Versus, a drunk driver can be some agency if you have the right facts.
Yeah.
So now, look. So, but Lange does a lane apply to driveways? I mean, maybe. We have a case called Florida versus Hardinas where the Supreme Court said that curtilage. So if that driveway is curtilage, it probably is. I think. Yeah. If it is curtilage, then they said that curtilage is treated like the home itself.
Yeah.
But they didn't say the same.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean,
which kind of allows for exceptions.
Some wiggle room.
Yeah,
in the front of the house versus the back of the house, the backyard versus the front. So the point is I don't think a court is going to say that if a person just pulls into their driveway, there's no fleeing, there's no felony, there's no exigency, but you can't even contact that person. I believe the way to look at it is consent. I believe that that's where they just want to pull there. They don't want their car towed, whatever. They just think that. You can also say, well, Anthony, maybe Arthur Lange is consenting. Maybe. I mean, maybe that's one way of looking at it. But clearly, Arthur wasn't consenting because he was, he was trying to shut the door on the cop. And you're also dealing with an entry into the home. So I think as it stands with 2025 right now, I'm teaching officers just make contact. And if he says, get out of here, you should look for a reason to have some urgency. I think that you will have it. I think so. But if you don't have anything, you can't articulate it, then maybe you should go to the curb and get a warrant. Right. I hate saying that, but I think that's...
Because the alternative to it is, whatever the games we played when we were kids, or your home base, right? You're chasing me, playing tag, whatever it is, I'm home base here, sitting on my driveway. So,
So that's our answer. So I don't think that this was a violation, and I certainly don't think. I mean, I know the agency involved here, and we're good friends, and I like this agency, but certainly it's one of these cases where it's not even that black and white. So if we're jamming up officers potentially, we want to be careful with that too, because even the courts haven't said one way or the other at this point. Okay. Hope it helps. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Until next time, my friends, stay safe.